All right. We're going to call this meeting to order and start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Andy, you want to do a roll call? Here.
Here.
Here. All right. So I know we have a few continuances requested here. I see application Z 2022-10 for Stelco Partnership. I guess they reached out to about a continuance. Do we know until when? All right, I make a motion to approve the extension of application Z 2022-10 to September 21st. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion carries.
Assume we check that to make sure that's it.
I checked it. That's the. Hold on. Yeah, it is. That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why he was making me.
I'm not trying to fact check, so I was just.
Next up is application Z 2022-35, Thomas Pereira, 3111 Sawmill Road, an extension of prior zoning relief is being requested. This one was in not that long ago, right?
Yes, big property.
Yeah. And Andy, any issues with that on your side? From a,
I don't have,
okay,
they are still going.
okay. All right,
I'll make a motion to approve the extension for application Z 2020-35. Give them time to work through the development and land improvement permitting process. Z 2022-35.
for fact checking.
Sorry.
I'll second.
Guess we're all fact checking.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion carries. You said 2020. Want to make sure on the record we get it correct. All right, so
He's got a gavel tonight. We gotta watch.
next up is application Z 2023-11, Muirwood Hills HOA, 3596 Muirwood Drive. The Homeowners Association is seeking variance relief from section 172-121F subsection 3 to allow a sign on the property be externally illuminated. Applicant also requests relief from any other section of the zoning ordinance that may be realized during the zoning hearing process. Subject premise is located in the AO zoning district. Who do we have here on behalf of this application? You mind just stepping up to this table here and make sure the microphone is turned on and green? And before we begin here, you can sit down. The flat black
Little
microphone.
One right there. Yeah, yep, just press that green button.
Yes, sit down, make yourself comfortable. And Andy, is the file in order?
Files in order, we do have available. Posting and property. Telling list.
All right. And
Based on the. Yes.
they are admitted as part of the record, and do we want to
I do. Anne, Mangini, Mangini.
All right, Ms. Mangini, the floor is yours.
So the Muirwood Hill HOA is simply requesting this variance in order to illuminate the external signage that we recently had received variance on to install. We are simply looking for lighting to allow anyone who is coming to the development to be able to see it during the evening hours. We're looking for lighting from dusk till dawn. And we would also like to note that all of the surrounding properties, including Springton Point Woods, Terraza, et cetera, all have very similar lighting during those hours as well.
So this is the sign on 252 as you come into Muirwood Road.
Correct.
Is it just a backlight like inside of the sign, or is it
It's-
uplighting at the
In
sign?
front of-
It's up lighting in front of the sign.
So
yes.
nothing that's going to illuminate out into the street that would be a distraction.
No,
it's just
no,
on-
it directs back into the community, if you will, into the sign.
And
The total wattage, I think, is, it ends up being 75 watts per light. We're looking to do 2 lights. So it's minimal illumination as well.
And the nice thing is that that intersection is dark anyway,
It is.
so people will be able to see the turns and come in to stations and Muirwood
Right,
a little better.
right. Yeah, I've lived there since 2016, and this has been something that the residents have been asking for repeatedly and diligently.
And it's a small sign. It's not
No,
very big at all.
no, I mean, in comparison to Springton Point Woods and in especially in comparison to Terraza, ours is significantly
Right.
smaller. Yes.
And Andy, any concerns from your side of things?
I mean, not really, I just think to recognize that all the lighting affected. Not in. Or.
Okay. Do you have any questions on this?
I'll make a motion to approve 2023-11. For the signage property, as long as the light shines right on the sign and not into the right of way or to the roadway.
Is there a sec?
I would absolutely keep it from dusk to dawn. And
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right. Motion carries. Good luck with your new lighting.
thank you.
Thanks. Right, next up is application Z 2023-12 Chrome Institute of Technology. The applicant is seeking expansion of their prior zoning relief to allow for barbering. The applicant also requests relief from any other section of zoning ordinance that may be realized during the zoning hearing process. The subject is located in the SU-1 zoning district. And who do we have here on behalf of this application? All right, and then just make sure you guys microphones, if you're in any of the spots that they're lit up in green. Yeah,
Am I okay with just this one?
is that one green?
Yes.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, so you'll remember very quickly, I don't want to hold you up, but you'll remember, it was just about a year ago, I think it was
Yeah.
a year and a month ago, we were in here. And John was making a presentation, he was going to put a cosmetology school in the old Apple Vacations building down on Campus Boulevard.
Mhm.
He did that, it's been successful, fixed it up nice, had a good year with it. He's found out, though, that one of the things that he needs to do, doesn't need to expand anything, doesn't need any different numbers from what we talked about before. But one of the programs that they teach is barbering. Barbering is a part of cosmetology, but it is separately licensed. So in order to get the license, we have to have permission from the zoning hearing board to allow us to operate the barbering school. But we would still we would still comply with all of the conditions that you put on us before. There would really be nothing different except, a barbering license as opposed to a hairdresser.
Any changes in terms of the amount of students that will be showing up? Or are you just looking at a few extra students because of that, or?
Right, so.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, my God, I left all you guys out.
Yes, sir.
No, I forgot to make sure the file was in order. I'm sorry. I know.
That was my fault. I
Yeah.
talked too soon. It was
Can
like,
you give us a barber action right here? You need it.
So, yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
The Files in order. Property was posted as required. We sent notices to all property owners. Property mailing list is also available as well as. proof of-
Chairman, of course, the representation made by the North Carolina, yeah.
They're admitted.
in addition to rushing you along too fast.
No, I'm
I made
embarrassed
one
now.
other- I made one other mistake. And when in the application, I had mentioned that as part of my application, there would be no renovations to the building. And what I was really talking about, I was talking to John, it was kind of a miscommunication between the two of us, that there'd be no renovations to the outside of the building. There may be some renovations inside in terms of like plastic, the room dividers and things like that, which we have plans for, and we would certainly get the necessary permits for, but it wouldn't require any kind of zoning change. So I didn't want to think I was misrepresenting.
Yeah. How many students do you expect to add for?
So to answer your question, we won't go over the cap of students in the building that we had, nor will we go over the cap of the 48 guests that we can take in a 24-hour time period. The reason why we have to do this at all is because Pennsylvania is one of the only states that has two different boards, one for cosmetology and one for barbering. So even though it's the same art of cutting hair, because there's two boards, the zoning approval that we have, the order that we have says a cosmetology school, but it doesn't say barbering. So I have a copy for you guys to see of my application with the state board, and everything is completed. Everything is good. They're good with the way, and I'll explain to you the changes that we have to make. I also have drawings and stuff like that for Andy and you all. But basically everything's approved. They just needed to say cosmetology school and barbering school. And as far as the insides go, the interior work goes, Andy, it's just, it's actually a really cool system. And I think that you're gonna like it a lot. We had to create a school within a school, basically. 1,250 square foot classroom. So we chose to have it done, or how we would like to have it done is folding glass walls. that we can open back up in that big cosmetology area that we have where they do the cutting. That would close off the area for them during class time, and then when we have like a guest speaker or somebody that wants to come in, an outside artist to teach both the barbering and cosmetology kids, that we can open these walls back up. The way that we have it designed, it's a little over the minimum 1,250 square foot that we have. We teamed up with Superior Glass. They came up with a real good system. You know, my dad's very thorough with his drawings. And all that will be, all the permits and everything else will be, you know, but it's a really neat system. But that's really the only construction that we have to do. Everything else is there. All the lockers are there, the time clocks are there, the bathroom, the shampoo, you know, bowls, everything is there. It's just, that's the only thing we need in order to add this program. And like I said, if it wasn't for them being two separate boards.
Yeah.
From
you know,
Andy, from a zoning standpoint, that doesn't matter to us. It's just the permit for the license for being a barber. Doing the same things that we approved before matters, right?
I just think it's necessary for you to recognize if there is a significant change in use of the property.
Right.
Due to the.
and so did the state board. The
Right.
state board wanted it too. It wasn't just you guys. I mean, it's actually the state board that wanted it. We had to come. And then I'd also just like to point out that we do have authorization and awareness from Jeff Mullen, who owns the property.
If I could get this part.
Real quick, couple questions. John, you mentioned that the state board wanted you to do this, correct?
Yes,
And you brought us copies of your emails with the state board, correct?
I did.
If I share what we'll have marked as exhibit 2.
Yeah.
Is that the series? of
Yes,
emails?
so this is a series of email with Valerie Eaton, who is the president of the State Board of Cosmetology as well as barbering in Pennsylvania, and she recognizes in these email chains that my application is 100%, well, 100% good to go, contingent on the zone. We just need that order revised or a new order drawn up.
And
And you made the application, is that right?
Yes, the application has actually been in effect since the beginning of the year. We
Okay.
started it at Christmas time.
Is this it, what I'm showing you as exhibit 3?
Yes, this is the full application showing everything completed other than the zone.
Just so I'm aware real quick, or so I'm 100% clear here. So when you were here last year, it was granted for conditional use of the property to use it as a cosmetology.
Variance.
would be a cosmetology school.
And
I'm sorry.
I have to apologize for that. I really should have known that they were two boards, but when I originally had a conversation with somebody that is no longer there in the State Board of Pennsylvania, I was under the impression that we would just be able to easily add this program at any time. I don't know if a change happened in between then or what, but I mean, I certainly would have asked for it at that point. We always had intentions on adding barbering. Really only difference is it's just predominantly men do. You guys have been to barbershops before, I'm sure, you know, so it's nothing different what we're teaching, if that makes sense. It's still the art of cutting hair, if you will.
And Sam, if this were something that were to be approved, do you have any conditions that you would like in the? Yeah. Okay.
I wasn't gonna mark that unless you want me to. I think have it part of your application. The only one more if I could, two more questions, then I'll be done. You mentioned that there would be some changes, right? And
Yes, sir.
Your father who's here tonight.
I'm here.
Who does that, correct?
Yes,
Okay, he drew up plans.
he did. He just drew up plans based off of the current plans that are already with the township. Yes, the highlighted area would be the folding glass wall.
And the last question. Proposal.
Because of the language of
Yeah, so.
the barbering committee is looking for.
Andy, if you take a look at this packet on page 2, shows you how, everything about the folding wall, how it's hung, how it's supported, as well as Superior Glass's proposal to do the work. And it also includes in there all permits for all.
Let me take a look at this, okay?
Yeah.
I have it marked with exhibit 5. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so
That being presumptuous, going to get approved.
Right.
If there was approval,
Yeah.
this is kind of a language.
So this, I asked the State Board of our State Board of Barbering if this would be acceptable. If they made, if you guys were to alter, I didn't know if you were gonna alter the order or issue us a different one, so that we had 2 different zoning approvals. However, they did state that this would be acceptable if it read in the 3 areas highlighted, cosmetology school / barbering school. They just need something that reads that we're approved to have both schools there.
I think that was exhibit 5, I think is what I was up to.
Which again, I mean, I kind of like to add that it's not like we're trying to open up 2 separate businesses. It's just the way that Pennsylvania does things.
Sam, what's the cleanest way to do this with the past?
So I think because we have a separate. Incorporate and go further.
Yes, sir, which was limited to the amount of guests that we can have in a 24-hour time period,
You.
and it still is. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, it is.
Talk about a cap and testify. At that time. So.
Yes, sir.
That cap was 40.
40 students. Right, sir. That's the amount of student when we were talking about the amount of guests that can come in at a time period, because we only have 25. The teachers are only allowed to teach 25 students at one time for people to have, like, for the guests at 24 and 48. The school itself is 15,000 square feet. I mean, it should be able to handle triple that with students.
I'm not suggesting, with the hand,
Yeah,
just suggest.
sure.
And if there's going to be expansion there, for you to understand. For people, their cap.
So patrons wise, meaning like if we're talking about the public coming in to get a service done, which I'd like to add, we become quite a friend of Newtown Square. A lot of residents come and they enjoy it. So to answer that question, no, that will not change, because we simply do not have the stations for it. As far as the program goes, of course, it would add another teacher and it would add more students. But it wouldn't add the amount of people that come in daily, if that will. Well, we have 14 barbering chairs that I believe we purchased, correct? So it would be no more than 14 during each class. What, I don't understand the question.
When I go to the barber shop.
So we're talking about 2 different things here. we're talking about somebody to come in and get a service done. I'm not asking to increase that number of 24 to 48. That's not.
Can we just simplify this? I mean, how many
We talk about students.
how many students will you have there at a
Let me see if I
time?
can help a little bit.
Yeah.
Dan. When we came here the last time, we came in and we said, look, and one of the worries was this going to be too much for that building and too much for the parking and everything? We said we would live by the limitations that are in the order there.
Correct.
Okay? Now you have a chance to take a look at that, okay? Are the numbers that are going to come to the site, whether they be students, teachers, or guests, are they going to exceed any of those numbers?
No,
Okay,
no.
right, did I hit it with, right?
I just want to know if the petition of Barbara is going to increase the volume of personnel, either by way of teaching or by way of students on the site. In addition to what you have provided prior.
Well, we're adding, I mean, I don't wanna, we're adding growth. So it would be 14 more students and 1 more teacher. But as far as the guests come, no, we're not asking to change that.
Possible that you could have those 14. And the students on the other side. And then still have other plans for people.
Right, but
That's 14 more plus.
But what I'm trying to say is in line number 2, and Jim, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, sorry.
But in line number 2, it says the clinical learning program shall be limited to 24 to 48 customers or guests. That is, we're talking about the clinical program where somebody would come in and get a clinical service done. That number I am not asking to have changed at all. No, sir.
So the number would be half of.
For the teacher.
Okay, yeah,
People in the program.
right. So it would be up by 14 plus what, 15, and that would be the max.
And that's the max, that's
Right.
correct.
That's the max.
What is the cap? For gas? Both sides.
14, 15 more people.
And what was the premium?
It's like 50,
Correct,
55.
correct. Maximum.
And so agree that the educational program.
Yes, sir. And that would be Monday through Thursday. We're only open till 4 on Friday.
And your parking and your building itself will handle those extra people?
Yeah,
And will all those people generally be there at one time?
no. No.
So what do you think there would be at any given time?
Well, the esthetician programs are only Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Cosmetology and barbering are Monday through Friday. So right off the bat, you'll lose them esthetician students on Thursdays and Fridays.
That would be the extent of my case if,
No, that's. Ed, any questions? Sam, any? Okay,
So Sam, just to clarify, what do we need for the state so they can do barber and cosmetology, so.
Suppose that what we have is we have a use variance for first school. Second application, have to do another variance for barbers. Take some location that. Those that were higher.
Right.
Yep.
And any of the construction inside.
It's still got to
conforms-
go through.
That's not zoning, that's totally separate, okay. Okay,
How the permitting ties together with state approval if you get it. If you gentlemen, if you receive the approval tonight requiring, are you suggesting that you would need to amend the certificate of occupancy you currently have prior to this application, or once this application is filed, permitted, and then
So the only thing that we need to move forward currently right now is a zoning. They're not asking for any type of certificate of occupancy or anything like that. And then obviously we're not even going to put a single student in there. If you read the last page of my the email communication with the state board, it's that we're not going to be ready for inspection yet. And that it would probably exceed 60 days before we even are ready for the board to come in and inspect us, because the construction needs to be done. That would allow you proper time to do all the permit stuff and everything, review everything and stuff like that. The only thing that we need in order to move forward with the program is a zoning approval stating barbering school.
And you're going to get the stuff to Andy in his office.
So if we get,
Immediately, right?
if we are granted approval tonight, we'll go to work tomorrow. You know, we work diligently, Andy, so, and we'll get you exactly what you need.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve application Z 2023-12 for expansion of the prior zoning relief to allow for special use variance for barbering school. All prior conditions should remain the same from the last order, with the exception of increasing the student and teacher maximum from 40 to 55. Good.
That's everything. All right. Is there a second?
second,
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, motion carries. Good luck with the.
Good luck with
barbering
everything.
school. Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you.
yeah, you got it.
Thank you all so much.
All right.
can you do something with him? The barber action.
Yeah,
Nice
give us a couple months to get the
students ready and then you can come on over.
All right.
Thanks, fellas. Andy, I'll see you.
All right. All right, one more applicant here, application Z 2023-13, Jack Impriano of 3 Gartley Drive, pertaining to the property at 4031 West Chester Pike. Applicant is seeking a variance in accordance with section 172-121B. The applicant also requests relief from any other section of the zoning ordinance that may be realized during the zoning hearing process. Subject premise is located in the R1 zoning district. Mr. Impriano?
Yes.
The one microphone's on the table,
If
should be
it's
good.
green, you're
Is it
good.
green? I won't forget you guys this time. Is the file in order here?
We have file in order to notice on the thing we do have a photograph. Public notices posted on the property, as well as notice that was mailed to all property owners, but the property boundaries, the publication. Public.
All right, and Sam,
And,
and do I get Mr. Impriano sworn in?
I do.
Is anyone here on behalf of this application that's wishing to make public comment or part of the testants? Just want to make sure, cover that. I know. All right, Mr. Impriano, floor is yours. Want
Well,
to take us through?
It's, I'd like, with your permission to, install a, business sign on the front of this property. It's a main thoroughfare there. I have two companies on both sides of me, a Stardy's and a Porsche dealer. At one point, we were asked to convert the property to commercial by people in the township.
Mhm.
When the Porsche dealer was converting. And like a fool, I said I wanted to wait. And at this point, I'm just asking if I can go ahead and do that with special permission.
So is the business being run out of there, or is that you're just because of the signage for benefit for the traffic that's going by? Is this being used as office space or
Yeah, my office is there
in that property?
in that house.
Okay.
That's my office.
So you have a property in Marpole, right? Right on near the car wash
Where?
on West Chester Pike. You have a
Yeah,
current sign
Broomall.
there in Broomall.
Yes, that's.
Are you gonna, can do both? Is it the same kind of sign you're doing at that property on this property?
Yes.
And is there vehicles being like parked here? Like, is this just for your office and you want to get a sign up for?
Well, since I do business there, it's my office. And that's our business. I was hoping I could put a sign.
Yeah, I think I'm more just, I guess, out of curiosity, just seeing a sign go up on what is in the R1 zoning district, just curious if it is a business running out of there, I think.
The people have mentioned that it's going to be, the zoning lines are going to change. And at that point, it would be no longer R1. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I've just been told by.
There's always
different
those
people in the
rumors
township.
going around for stuff like that. And I get it. You're in between two businesses there. I honestly, I don't know if the township was even curious if the business is being run out of there. Or is this just a residential house that you just want to pop a sign up on and?
No, it's my office. Pardon me? No. That's right, yes. The sign is 48 by 72.
It's the exact same sign you have on West Chester Pike now
Same size,
on next to Sopranos.
exactly.
Okay.
This is R1, yeah.
But the Porsche started is in between both of them.
And is this sign going to be illuminated or
Pardon
will
me?
this sign be lit up or is this just?
Yes.
It is going to have, is going to be lighting behind the sign or aiming at the sign?
It's going to be from inside the sign,
Okay.
LEDs.
And if this were approved, you know, obviously making sure that the lighting isn't so excessive that it's shining out onto West Chester Pike as a distraction.
Yeah, actually, this sign, only the logo lights up.
Okay,
You
just
know,
the white
because
part
it's
of it.
dark. The dark
Got it.
sign.
But you got approval of this sign in Marple, the same.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
So this seems interesting, I guess, in right. So what would be the process? And I only say this looking at what it is and knowing that entire space and that there's businesses on both sides. Obviously, everything is commercial there. I'm not. So how does this go for him then? If something needs to change, does he have to change his application or how do we?
My initial report, I received the application last year lately. And I was looking at, based upon information I had, property file. My correspondence was that I was looking at patient stuff. That would require.
Yeah, right. So
I was
this,
still looking at the building being used as a home. And then this sign would be a variance request from part of the limitation of a home occupation. Close to the fact that it's in R1. In R1, we allow home occupation with special exception approval, but that would be part of that step. To keep that belief that
Yeah.
needed to have home occupation. So, second of all, we only allow signs for home occupation not to exceed 4 inches.
yeah. And not actually a residence because no one's living there. It's just being used purely as an office space, correct? I mean, so
Yes.
it is being treated as a commercial location. So I'm turning to you guys. I don't know how do we handle something like this?
Take it right.
Have we had anything like this in the past with, I mean, for a sign like this in an R1?
It's not.
No, I know,
Use-
I know that the
use of the
use of it with it not being, no one's living there, it's being used purely as a commercial site, basically.
Well, it's an office.
Right.
We've
Yeah.
had similar cases. Office. In a different zone, on the opposite side with the.
I remember.
Three versus one. But I think the issue here is that we had record of a business, like the Montessori school.
Mhm.
Had changed into.
I remember that application.
That
became
that
an-
was a
Yeah,
year or so ago where they actually came in, changed property
Mhm.
from the Montessori school to get another commercial. Business item. This case, I don't know that we have that record.
So this is still a residence.
In
This is
Guy
still,
Township,
right, this is still a home.
Yeah.
and how long have you owned the property for?
10 years.
And when you purchased it, it was somebody that was living in the house,
No, it's always been my office.
even prior to when you purchased
whole
it?
10
So, see, were
years.
you renting it, I guess, before as an office space?
No, I never rented it.
No, so what I'm asking, you said you purchased that property 10 years ago? And,
Approximately. 10
okay,
years.
and what was it prior to that? Did you purchase it from somebody that was living there and treating it as a residence?
Yes, a family lived there,
Okay, that's what I'm just trying to figure out. I mean, that it was,
and the family lived next to me also, 2 houses, which were torn down. And they put this little building up right next to me. I'm exaggerating. It's a big building.
Is that the Porsche dealership?
Pardon me?
No, that.
The Porsche and the starters, yeah. So we should continue this to
Even for something like this, when it was applied as, I guess, gets treated the application as a business, so that same fee as when a business comes in for something like this. Got it. So, I mean, no, and I agree, but I think now, I mean, it's not being treated as a residence anymore, right? So it would, does the whole application change where we're not just talking about a sign and how the actual use of the property comes into play? So it becomes a little bit bigger than what we're discussing here.
Yeah, I mean, in my eyes, here again, as I review. Being that it was in the R1. Knowing that it appears to be a single family. Recognizing that our files didn't reflect any kind of change in that. In a similar fashion that we have in other properties across the street. There was nothing for me to say this was anything other than a single family home. And that this was being recognized as a sign in a residential district.
Yeah,
Now, I agree, I mean, certainly, there's a lot of properties along West Chester Pike that probably should be zoned. And I believe that the representative testified that there was a request at some point in time to allow that to happen on this property. That was during the land development process with the portion and development project. But that never got done on this particular property. The rezoning never occurred on this property. It is still R1. And I believe the business directly next door also. There's those two remaining properties west of the forest site that remain R1.
well, then I feel like we'll see this in same application 10 years from now because somebody purchased the property and goes, oh, I feel like I could run a business out of there because there was a sign out front. I'm just saying, I feel like we've seen that happen. I remember with an eye doctor office on 252 before that it sets it without, that's why I'm like, do we do this the right way?
Well, the building code addresses, here again, I don't want to zoning case, the building code, but they do overlap. So typically, township, but we have a process that would require the property transfers typically get that transfer, recognize property on that application. So it would typically say the property is a single family residential home. And it's going to be used as a single family residential home. Or it could say it was a single family residential home and we're going to use it as a business office. That triggers a lot of different things to review. Okay, now does the zoning district support it in case it does not? And then what's the impact of that going beyond that? Or there's sewer implications for other things. But that one application triggers a lot of different thoughts that have to go into that. And the building code, if it's going to be run as a business office and no longer as a single family home, there are things that.
What is our best course of action here then for? Right. So So how do we, and I hate to do these things where it's us saying denied and then he's reapplying another way. That's why I'm asking, like, is there a way for us? I know it's not a continuance because it's not the right application. Okay. Right. There's fees to re-advertise and,
But
And then we got
he can continue it, work with Andy. Repost, come back, and then whatever administratively they do, but at least he doesn't have to go through the whole process again. Right,
Fees.
with fees.
Of that property. As we. A year or two.
yeah,
3 years. You own the property. The first property is C1, zoning line is C1. I think that was a request a couple of years ago to address, to make these properties.
okay.
And it would make sense, I don't know if Mr. Impriano has a relationship with the adjacent property owner. Petition the board to rezone those two properties, make it a complete deal. And then that would allow a business office in P1 zoning district,
To put the sign.
and that would change the whole character of that, and we can deal with the other issues pertaining to the building separately. But I think the main issue, they probably should be. And then this would reduce the, in my
Yeah, would he even need the approval for a sign if it, right,
Right.
right.
probably won't.
Right, I mean, the good news is, it's not like it's impacting your business that you don't have the sign out there, right? We're not holding you up from being able to do something, but I think this would.
Help you in the long
In
run.
your best interest if you decided to go that route and zone it commercial.
I do. I've been told by a commissioner that, the lines are being redrawn. And, it's in the works. It may take a year, might take 2 years. This is what I've been told. I can wait. But for me to come back and try to change the zoning, I think I'd rather wait. Now, my neighbor is grandfathered in. So you're asking me to go to the neighbor and convince him that he's got to change. And that hinges on me. I mean, who needs all this?
He doesn't have to, right? He could do just his property,
do-
correct? Yeah, you don't have to go to the neighbor, right?
It was just,
Oh, okay. Well, you guys will do what you want to do. There's nothing I can do. I mean, I'm here at your mercy. I'm stuck between these, I'm on that north side. And
Is
it's
that-
all business,
is-
it's all commercial.
We agree with you. I get that. I think we're trying to,
It's just the zoning.
Yes. Yes. I heard you. I get everything you're saying. I Yes. Okay. No, I fully understand. I would rather wait,
is that an actual, and
you know,
is that a
I'm
rumor or
not
is that
gonna
a
go all
true
through that.
statement that it is? Okay.
So what we want to do.
We don't have to, Andy. I was just.
Right, I'm here for that reason. To get a decision whether I can put a sign on that property. That's what I'm here for.
I mean, for me, I just looking at it where I don't see the hardship here and trying to go around this the right way. I don't,
Zoning.
even if he goes for the commercial use variance, I'm just, what if, right? That he's not going through, that's back on us, right? You're not going through the whole, Mr. Impriano, the whole process of getting it rezoned, that you're coming back to us, reapplying, seeing us in a month and saying that you want to use the property as a commercial space without rezoning it. We're not going through all that. You can still wait the 1 to 2 years until everything gets redrawn, but then getting that, you'd be able to kind of get everything essentially the way it should be.
Well, I'm okay.
You're checking a lot of boxes then, because then running his business out of there is being done properly, right? Right, that he shouldn't even really be running the business out of there now.
Yeah,
Yeah, he didn't have a sign up.
well, I fill out a form every year. I put the name of the company, I mean, I pay a fee. So it's not like you don't know.
Yeah.
That probably.
Okay, okay,
Doesn't necessarily want, like, if they use an occupancy. That would come directly to
okay.
the business registration. Department.
So-
We're gonna sell the property.
Mm-hmm. Right,
They would issue it residential property.
right. Okay,
So. Yeah, just let's do a
Okay,
continuance.
Continue,
till
work
next-
with the township,
that makes sense.
and then
Yeah.
come back to us with the application.
You're not going through rezoning it, just
you're
the
not-
variance and
Yeah.
you're
So-
doing all the right things if you're
Are
gonna be
you
running a
asking for
business.
continuance?
Yes, please.
All right,
You work with Andy.
Mhm.
right.
I'll make a motion for the continuance for 2023-13. For the
Okay.
zoning and the R1. For the August 17th.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, we'll see you in a month.
Thank you.
Oh, because to re-advertise and get it.
You need it September then? September be easier, so
You okay with that, Mr. Impriano, if we do it in?
so amend the continuance till September meeting
21st.
21st.
21st,
All right,
okay. Now, shall I come up and submit another application?
you work with Andy.
Okay.
And he knows all this back.
Good,
I can give you Sam's cell phone number.
thank you.
LG Drive.
All right, meeting adjourned.